This is just a quick video to show you the latest addition to my workshop. I mentioned to my friend Nelson that I was going down to the men's shed to cut a bar, and he said, "Oh, I've got an electric hacksaw in the back of my workshop." I never used it. It was given to me by another engineer by the name of Des, and it's been sitting in the back there for years, so you can have it if you like. So I took it home, and it had a thick layer of dirt and grease all over it. But this actually protected it quite well, and it's in surprisingly good condition. A little bit of rust here and there, but not bad at all. And doesn't seem to be particularly worn either. I thought I'd need to strip it down and replace bearings and bushes and things. And initially I didn't really need to do that, I just needed to clean it up. I tried to get some orange paint to match the original colour, and I wanted to use epoxy paint, but I couldn't find anything that was anywhere near that colour. So I had a pot of the blue epoxy paint at home that I'd use on my lathe, and decided I might as well make it match and use that. So unfortunately it's lost its original orange colour. You can see from the label that it's made by Hawkins in Christchurch. CHCH is Christchurch, New Zealand, and that happens to be the town where I met my wife 50 years ago exactly. And I looked up the company and found out a little bit about the guy. C.R. Hawkins Limited was in business from 1931 to about 1962. The main business was making franking machines, but in 1945 to 46 he was advertising foundry work, including making woodworking equipment. So I figure it probably dates from that period. You can see in this photo that I've experimented with replacing the blade with an ordinary hacksaw blade because the teeth are very fine and I was having trouble with it chattering. But later bought a new blade with 14 teeth per inch and noticed that it was flexing quite a lot, so I tightened it up a lot more and added the weight at the end of the hacksaw, and those two things seem to eliminate the chattering pretty much, and adding a bit of lubricant probably helps a little bit too. My wife did complain that the loud clanking noise was going right through the house, and I discovered that seemed to be coming from the front connection where the connecting rod connects onto the hacksaw itself. There's a small pin there you can see in this picture. This is originally a 3/8 inch pin, and it had a little bit of play in it that was clanking each time it went backwards and forwards. It so happened I had a 10mm reamer which tapped into there very nicely and reamed it out to the 10mm size. I had a 10mm piece of bar, drilled a couple of holes with foot pins and popped it in there, and it's a lot quieter now. There's one piece missing, and that is the hydraulic lifter that's supposed to lift the blade on the backstroke when it's not cutting, and that should make the blade last longer. And I haven't worked out how to simply make a replacement for it. It's operated by a cam off the main gear wheel, and you might just make out this little lever there with a hole through it, and that's where the hydraulic lifter goes. The other addition is that I've made an electric cut-off circuit. I replaced all the wiring, and this included putting a micro switch inside a box operated by this bar, and when it finishes cutting through, that'll drop down and turn this motor off, and that's working nicely. Also made that bar that's sticking out the top to latch the hacksaw so I can lift it up and latch it up there. That's very convenient actually. You just lift it up there while I'm putting the metal in the jaws. When I want to use it, I just lift it up a bit, it pops out of the way, drop it down, and it starts cutting. So yeah, very nice little machine. Very handy, it's had a lot of use too. In this clip it's cutting a piece of 80mm diameter stainless steel, so that's pretty hard stuff, and I suspect it'll wear my blades out quite quickly. It took an hour to cut through this bar, but I've also been cutting 42mm diameter bronze bar, and it cuts through that in about 10 minutes. Maybe not after having used it on the stainless steel. I do have a spare direct current variable speed motor I could put on it, but there's not a lot of advantage in having variable speed on this, although it could probably benefit from running faster. But I think I'll save that motor for my pillar drill one day. Actually, the black weight on the front is the flywheel off that direct current motor that came out of a treadmill. The only criticism I have is that the vise isn't close enough to the blade, so you have to have a fairly large piece of material to cut.